Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to unbox another Sophie and Toffee box again, and this one is a Pixie box. I know it has been a while, but I tend to skip the boxes I'm not really interested in, but this one spoke to me, so let's have a look inside. And the theme of this one is under the sea, and I have to say I love this card design. It's so cute again. I just love like how most of their designs have this cute style. And of course Sophie and Toffee's social media informations are on the back, so feel free to check them out. Not sponsored. But anyways, this Pixie box is filled to the brim again, which I'm super happy about. And the first thing I see are these colored crushed shells in like blue, teal, green, pink, white, and this like brownish blackish tone? Coffee colored, I guess. We also get some open bezels, 2 in each. We get fish, a like fin shape, and a whale. So yeah, if you like bezels, these are definitely really cute. And then we also get some like pendant things. So we have these like gold and bronze little shells with the pearls inside, and then we also have these. And for some reason, I thought, you know, these must be pendants that you can open, like little lockets or something like that. For some reason they looked like that, so I took them out of the bag, and yeah, they actually are. Now I tried to open them from the bottom first, intuitively, but sadly they open from the side, which, you know, is a minor missed opportunity, since I think it would be cooler if they would be openable from the bottom like a real shell, but it's still pretty neat that it's a different shape of locket. And then we also get this nail decoration stuff with these white beads and yeah, all these metal shapes. And we also get embed canes in seashell and sea star forms in all different colors. Not quite rainbow, but a lot of different options, which is really, really neat. We also get an assortment of these tiny shells, which I really love because they're perfect for any project, like really at all, like pendants and all of that. So I'm super, super happy we got like a huge container of them. And then we get these like blue rhinestones, which yeah, I guess you could use for decoration or something like that. I'm not sure what I will use them for, but yeah, maybe eventually I will use them, but probably not for today's project. And we also get some resin embeds, so we got like a sea lion and an octopus, which I think is super fitting for the theme and really cool. And then we got 2 mica powders in blue and like this coral magenta color, actually some of my favorite colors, so super happy with that one. And then we are onto the molds, and this mold is the reason why I really wanted this box, because this mold is a box mold, but not just any, it has like ocean waves on top. So a really neat effect. I always wanted to make like terrariums and like all of that in these kind of mold types, but yeah, having this mold is really cool. And then we also get this mountain range, which I'm sure you can put on that mold, so that's also really handy. And yeah, we get one of these flat molds again, with lots of sea creatures, which is really cute, but you know, I'm not a huge fan of these, I usually don't use them. Next up we also have this shell mold, which like is a small decorative shell mold. I'm sure you can put tiny dioramas or something like that inside. That would be really, really cute. And then we have these like pendant wall hanger type thingies. And we also get like, it looks like wooden box pieces. I guess this is for stabilizing the underwater mold. So let's have a look inside the card. And here we can see everything that we're supposed to get inside of this box. And I really love their examples. I think when you like have an idea block or something like that, seeing examples of what you can make with these definitely helps a little bit. Even if you're just copying it in your own style, I think that's perfectly valid if you want to make a project. So yeah, as I say, I really like these examples. And apparently the mica powders were random, so it's a double luck that I got my favorite colors and not just a repeat of colors I got like a dozen times in boxes. But anyways, let's finally start on the project, and of course I wanted to make an underwater diorama scene inside of the huge underwater mold. So I'm going to start out with some underwater plants. Honestly, I don't know what any of these called or if they even exist. I just googled images and found some drawings and some photographs, and I thought they look very cool, so I tried to replicate the look of this a bit. So for the first ones, I'm gonna make like little pink teeth, so to speak, and then just use some toothpicks and a Cricut tool to like indent the top a little bit to make like an opening. Yeah, I don't know what it's for, but it definitely looks underwatery. Now, before you ask me about this clay, I have no idea which brand this is. I had random pieces left over. I think I got it like 7 years ago off of Amazon. But yeah, it cures really quickly, so I can use my heat gun. It like turns matte and loses its shininess a little bit when you cure it, which is really handy, because that means it like takes 20 seconds to cure with a heat gun, and you can really see when it's cured. So yeah, I just wanted to use it up since it has really vibrant colors. Now to place these underwater plants properly and assemble them after I basically cured them, I'm just using this box mold as a little help, since, you know, it's see-through on the bottom and yeah, has a perfect flat side, so I can just, you know, use it to cure my plants from the bottom. So I'm just picking up some tiny, like, modeling sized rocks and just using some UV resin and placing these, like, I don't know, barnacle type plant things one by one in the positions I want them, and after curing they pop off really easily from this mold. I could have used like a silicone mat, but then I couldn't have cured it from the underside, so yeah, really handy to have this mold. Normally when I make this kind of things I also like to use like a coaster mold or something flat, but you know, since I had this mold already lying about, yeah, it was a good thing that I could just use this. Next up, I'm going to make like leafy things, so I'm just strapping a tiny strip of white around this, like, I don't know, mustardy green color, and then I'm pressing it flat and shaping it into leaves. I saw this in a drawing. I don't know if these plants really exist at all, but yeah, I thought they would fit perfectly fine with my underwater world. And yeah, after just curing them, I'm gonna use the box again and assemble them. So just layering some UV resin, putting some leaves in, curing it, and putting some more. And because this clay is fairly see-through, it works really quickly and well. But anyways, in the end I really didn't like how the look of the leaves is on the top where they join, so I decided I need to do something about that, and what better way to do something about that than just to layer something else on. And that something else is these balls of, like, I don't know, underwater green sponge colored things, and I'm just, you know, making them into sponge coincidentally, so I'm just poking in some holes, and yeah, definitely looks much better. And a quick cure from my heat gun, and they're done. The last plants I wanted to make are just some normal coral things, so I picked up some really vibrant colors, and I'm just making some strips that I'm going to assemble in like vaguely tree-shaped things. They will be a bit bulkier, but you know, it's a fantasy underwater thing. And I didn't really want to bother with stability and making like tiny arms of corals, so these will be perfect. With that, we have all the plants assembled. Now I just wanted to add a little sea creature, so I decided to go for the octopus. And for that one, I'm just using my model colors by Vallejo, and I don't know how if that's the real pronunciation, don't come after me if it's not, but I think it is. So I'm just using some cream and light orange tones to do the basic shading, and then I'm going in with a bit of a darker orange and still warm orange, but like a bit darker than the primer tones, and just shading it. And now it's finally time to do the resin pouring stuff. So I'm just mixing some bird sand with some leftover aquarium rocks that I'm using for miniatures. And yeah, I'm just mixing it with UV resin. I did this trick many times before. I know it works. It just takes a little while until the UV resin cures, since, you know, the sand is opaque and the light doesn't travel through that good. But it definitely works really well for these purposes. So I'm just putting it into the mold and then spreading it out on the, like, what will be the sea floor of the mold. Of course, the camera angle is really hard to see, so when I've spread this out, I just placed in the plants without trying to film it, because you couldn't see a thing. And yeah, now that everything is cured, I can finally tilt it, and I'm just giving it a little bit of a black wash, honestly, because yeah, it's nice and vibrant, probably also under the sea, but it was a little bit too vibrant for my taste, so I wanted to dull it down just a tiny bit. And then it was time to mix a huge amount of resin. To be exact, in this container I'm just mixing 500 grams. So like about half a liter, but this resin I'm using is deep pour resin and it's measured in grams. Yeah, it's quite a lot, but I wasn't sure how much I need. But yeah, I'm not worrying about that, since I have many molds that I can and want to fill with this. And the nice thing about this one is this resin has the working time of over 12 hours, which also means it takes like 3 to 5 days to cure and fully cure without being like really mushy. It definitely takes a little bit longer, but yeah, it also means I can pour it in one go, since it goes into a mold with 10 centimeter depth, so this will be ideal. Now the bottom left-hand corner of the sand is lifting a little bit, but I'm not worried too much about that. And of course, with all the leftovers, I grabbed a lot of molds and started to fill them up. And I also mix up some black just to fill in the mountain range, because, you know, I wanted to see what it looked like. And yeah, it's a pretty neat little thing that I can use for like a different project. And, you know, I didn't really waste any resin. The wood was stuck, so I just decided in the end to take the mold out, purely because, yeah, I got some resin on the, like, wood walls. With some wiggling, I could separate them, but if you have, like, a thicker resin than I do, I think you're stuck with having it in a box for all eternity. Yeah, that can happen, so make sure to not spill any resin. But with that, this project is finished, and I have to say, I absolutely love it. I'm glad I chose to paint the plants with a black wash. Definitely gives them a bit more dimension, and yeah, the look is absolutely stunning. Definitely how I envisioned it and wanting it to come out, and it worked, which I'm really happy about, because, you know, some projects don't work out, some do, and this one definitely was one I wanted to work. Now to the box and all its content. Honestly, I loved it. I mean, I'm not one to use like the flat enamel molds and that. I think we established that in prior videos, but I think many other people would like them, since you have many opportunities to color them and all that, and I think they do look quite cute and pretty. So yeah, I will definitely sell this mold to somebody else, and I think that will be the right move to do, since I will just never use it, maybe once, so yeah, it will just be wasted. But the rest of the molds, like the shell mold and all that, were excellent. I especially love that I was so lucky with the colors, and the ambience are just really great. I wanted to get some tiny shells again anyway, so this is perfect. So yeah, overall this box is a perfect mixture of under the sea things, so definitely fit the theme of this box perfectly well with all the molds they put inside, and yeah, with all the inclusions and stuff. Definitely really happy about that. This one is a great Pixie box again. So yeah, super happy. But anyways, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of my project. Did you like it? And more importantly, what would you put inside of this mold, since there's so many different opportunities for dioramas that you can make inside these kinds of molds, and I'm super excited about making other projects with this mold, definitely. So yeah, let me know, and I hope you have a great day. See you next time. Bye!